welcome to Fearful Symmetry.
Mountain fresh, mountain fresh, mountain fresh, mountain fresh. We live in a time of challenging contradictions. We see the ecological devastation around us, and like all good people, we oppose it. But the very eyeglasses that we see through are part of the problem. Take them off and see what I mean. Plastic frames, right? The same plastic that's ruining our oceans and the air that we breathe. It's time to make a change. It's time for mountain fresh organic optics. Sustainable eyewear made from the small intestinal walls of organic goats that live high in the fabled mountains of Andorra. For 1,200 years, local monks have raised these goats with great devotion, producing a cheese famous for its purity and hearty flavor. Now these same goats are being lovingly synthesized in the manufacturing of biodegradable eyewear. That means you finally have the chance to buy eyeglasses that are fashionable, aromatic, and endorsed by Mother Nature. So throw away your plastic frames and glasses. That's right, just throw them away and go online to order new eyewear from Mountain Fresh Organic Optics. Let's start healing this world of ours, one pair of glasses at a time. Mountain Fresh, Mountain Fresh, Mountain Fresh, intestinal walls. Lovingly synthesized. Mother Nature. Mountain fresh, mountain fresh. Have you ever looked real closely at a bug and said to yourself, "That's beautiful," and then after you've killed it and smeared it along the ground, looked at it again and thought, "That's beautiful too"? Have you ever been sad wondering about the people starving all over the world and then had some chocolate chip cookies and just felt a whole lot better? Have you ever had a hat that constantly blew off your head in the wind, so you found a sharp nail and hammered the nail through the hat into your skull, but then realized that you didn't feel like wearing that hat that day anyway? Have you ever looked at your toes and wondered, what if each little toe could be surgically modified into a tablespoon or a bottle opener? And if so, how do you go about branding something like that? Have you ever sat with friends and gazed at the twinkling stars of the night sky, imagining the billions and trillions of stars and galaxies throughout the universe, and thought, "I wonder if people think I smell funny. I bet they do. I bet they think I smell funny." Have you ever had an itch and tried not to scratch it, so you set fire to your underarm hair instead, but you still had the itch? Have you ever proudly taken out your flag on July 4th and realized, wait a second, this is not an American flag, what is this? And then went to the web and discovered it was a flag for Bulgaria, and it wasn't July 4th, it was winter, and everyone around you had the head of a hamster? Have you ever thought, what if God was a sound? And then if you were deaf,
you wouldn't be able to hear God, and so you would spend eternity tortured and damned in the raging fires of hell. Have you ever looked at animal porn on your phone and then dropped the phone into a pot of spaghetti sauce and then extracted the phone with your sock and carefully licked off the sauce from your phone, but couldn't quite get your tongue to lap up all the sauce, and then looked at more animal porn on your phone even though it still had a little sauce on it? Have you ever gone to the division of motor vehicles and sat there all day just pretending that you're waiting to register your car, but really imagining how awesome it would be if you could get a job there as a clerk or maybe a janitor? Have you ever been in a funny mood at a jewelry store and put an expensive watch or some pricey earrings in your hand and then slid them into a stranger's pocket and shouted, "That man is a thief"? And then later, after the police made their arrest, just went out and took a real nice stroll. Have you ever taken off your clothes to see if you could lick your own genitals, only to realize you're in a Zoom meeting for work and now everybody wants you to do this every meeting?
Hi, I'm Sedge Franklin. Perhaps you felt down and out of sorts. I know how you're feeling, believe me. Well, I'll tell you what we've got to do. We have to find your floors, and I can tell you how to do it. Floor Work with Sedge Franklin is an application that works on almost all the smartphones. Take my hand. We'll walk up your stairs and find your floor. Then we'll go downstairs and stand on that floor. I will help you find your floors so you can stand on them. That's Floor Work with Sedge Franklin. Also available as a board game and programmable Roomba vacuum robot.
Hey there, cosmonauts. Greetings and salutations to my fellow passengers on Spaceship Earth. You've reached your destination. You've arrived at our constellation of love, caring, and forgiveness. I'm Paul Clarion, and we're all together now for another podcast episode of Washing Away. Let us begin our communion. I see we already have a line of new friends waiting to come through the portal. The first transmission is now open. Greetings, new friend. Who am I speaking to this evening?
This is, Max. I don't even know why I'm doing this.
Hi, Max. How are you feeling?
Not good. Not good at all.
I'm sorry to hear that, Max.
I just smacked my kid again. Keep doing that. He makes me do it.
I see.
Yeah, he just keeps doing stupid shit all the time. I'm fucking tired of it.
You sound upset, Max.
Goddamn right I'm upset. Drives me up the fucking wall. His mother's a bitch, and he's a little bitch, and there's only one way to handle that.
I see.
Just no respect, you know? No obedience.
Right.
But on the other hand, I don't know, part of me feels a little bad, a little conflicted, okay?
Right. How can I help you tonight,
I
Max?
feel almost, guilty, like I'm doing something wrong. Just hate that guilty feeling, like it's not okay or something.
I see. You seek expiation then?
Yeah, expiation.
Then it is done. Your sins have been washed away.
Right? You mean that's it?
Totally
it's done?
washed away. Thank you, Max.
All right. Good. That means a lot, actually. It feels... I already feel better. It just... I feel lighter or something. Excuse me a moment. You stay in that fucking corner! Don't you look at me! Don't you look at me! Don't make me come over there because I will fuck you up! You can see what I'm dealing with here. Anyhow, thanks. I feel better. Thanks for making me, whole.
The universe is healing. The universe is love. The universe is forgiveness. I see that a new friend is on the threshold. Please come in, new friend. Tell me your name.
My name is Bettina.
How can the universe help you, Bettina?
I'm not always maybe as honest as I should be. From time to time, I might fib a little.
I see.
It's a small thing, just little white lies. I mean no harm.
Of course.
For instance, I've lied to my sister recently. She's very, pretentious. She and her rich husband, they're pretentious, and they always have to shove all their jewelry right under my nose.
I see.
She's just an awful woman, really. So selfish. Just terrible. Anyhow, our mother died last month, and my sister was at some spa in the Caribbean getting some kind of butt lift procedure. You've heard of that?
Right.
Nothing is ever good enough for her, and she's never there when you need her. And so I'm the one who has to call her and tell her about Mom dying.
I
And
see.
I was just so darn mad, And I told my sister that our mother on her deathbed called her an ungrateful worm. And that she said she always hated my sister. And that she said that my sister should be the one who deserves to die.
I see.
Which technically was untrue. Since Mom really just made a lot of gurgling noises at the end.
Gurgling noises.
But I was so darn mad. And I suppose I wanted to wound my sister.
Right.
But how was I supposed to know she was going to take a bunch of pills and walk out into the ocean? Who does that?
Right.
I mean, everything has to be about her. And they apparently rescued her, but that wasn't good enough. And now she's on some kind of machine, and her brain is like all jello, and now I'm the bad guy?
I see.
And it's not fair, like this was all her fault.
Life can be unfair, Bettina. But when we find forgiveness, we find love. Your sins have been washed away.
Well, I didn't do anything wrong technically.
Go back into the world with a lighter load.
Again, I didn't do anything wrong, but thank you for understanding. That feels good. It feels good.
It does feel good when we open our hearts to the universe.
My sister is a very selfish woman. She's not a good woman.
Perhaps I can share a little something with all of our listeners. Each morning when I commence my rising devotions, I am entirely filled with the goodness of creation. When I'm on my deck above the mountains, the sweet sound of a stream gently running through my estate, the many animals from my bestiary frolicking here and there, I feel a strong sense of love and place. Even the servants stand content in quiet expectation of my next need and desire, and I think, what a wonderful universe we find ourselves in. And now I see we have a new friend on the threshold. Are you there, new friend?
Yes? Yes, I am. So happy to talk to you, Paul. You're just a hero of mine.
What is your name, friend?
Call me Jimmy, Paul. Wow, listen to me. I can't get over. I'm really talking to you. Please accept my celestial greetings of love and appreciation.
I accept, Jimmy. Thank you so much.
Wow, you've just given so much to so many, Paul, and now I'm part of it too. It's just wonderful.
It is all the dance of life. What brings you here today, Jimmy?
Well, this is a doozy. Where do I begin? I'm just all tongue-tied. Let me take a breath here.
Take your time, Jimmy.
Okay. I had a coworker, right? And he was, just full of really bad energy.
Oh, I see.
And I was always trying to help him, okay? Like to fix him.
Right.
And I mean, I was trying. I was coming with love and peace and good vibrations.
Right.
But because he was just such a pus-filled moron, a real maggot-brained douchebag, and he had a face that you just wanted to slap hard, right? Like you just wanted to take his face and slap it hard, and maybe even just pour lye all over his face and just pound it and make him scream and weep and burn so he can finally see what a pathetic sack of shit he really was.
I understand.
But I knew I just can't act on every impulse. I mean, holy smokes, where am I gonna find lye anyway, right?
Right.
So we're in the office kitchen, and there's a big bagel knife there, right? But it's a sharp one, it's a sharp one.
A sharp bagel knife.
Exactly. So he says to me, please, can you just stop bothering me? Can you believe it? He's telling me to stop bothering him. Because he's totally in denial, right? Because he's the one who's bothering me. Everybody knows that.
Bagel knife.
So I just took the knife and I stabbed him. And I stabbed him again and again and again until he didn't seem to bother me anymore.
I see.
And then, okay, I had to start stabbing myself too, so I can say it's all in self-defense, right?
Right.
And now there's blood everywhere, like on the coffee machine and the paper plates and the chairs, and I've got his blood and his gore and my blood all over my clothes, including, Paul, my favorite polo shirt that I happened to wear that day. And that part really bums me out, because I had that shirt for years and years, and it was made, Paul, by a company, a family company in Vermont that went out of business, and I don't need to name it, but that shirt just always looked really good on me. It would never be wrinkled, and it went with the color of my skin, and now, it's just filled with blood.
You certainly sound frustrated, Jimmy.
Oh, you bet I am. So I was questioned by the police, and I told them I always felt he was a ticking time bomb, and I had no idea what set him off, and then he finally went berserk, and I had to defend myself and managed to get the knife from him.
Right.
Now, it turned out that there were, complaints about that scumbucket before. Actually, these were anonymous complaints that I once made, or rather, I got a series of different people to make for me on the phone, saying stuff about sexual harassment, drug abuse, whatnot. He was just such a maggot-brained douchebag. Did I say that already? He was one of those.
I understand.
So for now, I seem to be in the clear, right? But I don't know. I'm not sure I feel right about the whole business. Maybe I shouldn't have done what I done. You know what I mean? Boy, I can't believe I just said that. It feels good just saying that, just saying that out loud.
I hear you saying that you're ready to move on.
Yeah, I'm ready. I need to move on.
You've already begun the journey. Those events have been washed away. It's all been washed away. No more pain, Jimmy. No more guilt. Total expiation of your sins.
Whoa, I can breathe. I can breathe. I can breathe now, Paul. Thank you so much. Life is so precious. Thank you. Life is precious. It's so good.
The gifts of the universe never cease, Jimmy. Love is endless.
Sorry, Paul, before you go, one more thing. It's just that darn shirt of mine. I've been trying to get the blood out of it, and I just love the shirt so much. But there was so much blood and gore, and more blood and more gore, and I don't know what type of blood he had, but that stuff is not coming out. Do you have any idea how I might get out these blood stains?
Of course I do, Jimmy. You need to get yourself a bottle of hydrogen peroxide. Just apply a small amount directly to the red bloodstain areas and watch as the stains disappear.
Right.
If they're stubborn bloodstains, then reapply as needed. The sooner you do this, the better off you'll be. Once it starts to dry, it's a lot harder to get out.
Right. Okay.
And if your shirt was white, you might spray it with a little bleach.
Well, the shirt is more of a fuchsia, actually. It really goes with my skin tone. I look good in white. But not as good as fuchsia. It's fuchsia.
And for large and entrenched bloodstains, I suggest you try Carbona Bloodstain Remover number 4. That should get you some quality results.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that. A friend of mine has a lot of experience with blood, and he was talking about blood removal, and he was talking about Carbona Bloodstain Removal number 4, too.
You see, Jimmy, bloodstains are considered enzymatic stains. It's all about proteins. You may need a top-notch enzyme cleaner to break down these large protein molecules into smaller, soluble chunks.
Right.
Consider purchasing a bottle of Blood Buster Stain Remover. It's a reliable enzyme cleaner available on Amazon. And remember, these enzymatic cleaners will also work on vomit, urine, and fecal matter.
Oh, good.
Now, Jimmy, if we're talking about a tremendous amount of blood...
Well, we are. We certainly are. That shirt of mine, oh boy, that shirt was absolutely drenched with blood. It was just thick all over with blood.
Then let me recommend a product called LA's Totally Awesome Oxygen Power All-Purpose Spot Remover.
Good.
It's wonderful on deep coats of dry blood. It may take several hours of soaking the blood-stained area, but it should get the job done.
Yeah, I will. Wow. Paul, thank you so much.
And now, we move on. We love, we care, we forgive. Let us wash away the past and live in the ever-flowing now.
This episode of Fearful Symmetry, The New Age, was written, produced, and performed by Bob Paris. Deke Weaver wrote and performed Floorwork with Sedge Franklin. Music in this episode came from Dr. Clarence Penny, Siddhartha Corsis, and PC3. We love, we care, we forgive. Let us wash away the past and live in the ever-flowing now. For more information, please go to fearfulsymmetry.org.